Yes.
Yes. Today is September 8th. It is 5:30. We're having work session now. Are there any changes or amendments to the work session agenda? Hearing none, then we will accept it as presented. First order of business is Bobby De Leon and Robert Rodriguez.
Perfect. I'm going to segue them a little bit.
Okay.
Something that the board has said they wanted information on was student safety and employee safety and what we're doing in the district. And so this year's study sessions, we're going to routinely have people come in and kind of inform us of some of those topics that that you guys have put on as far as what you expect of me. And anyway, so didn't work? I have asked Mr. De Leon and Mr. Rodriguez to come and share with you guys the E3 platform we've talked about and how it's actually revolutionizing the way we do student safety here at NISA, and I want them to give you a quick brief overview. Bobby's going to do more school level and district level things. Mr. Rodriguez is going to talk how we're connecting that with our emergency services. Like there was an event today that actually works out perfectly to segue how great this is. So anyway, go ahead.
Well, I was going to share my screen, and it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do that for some reason.
The HDMI isn't working out?
Well, no, the app's not opening up on my computer, so even better.
Okay.
So,
It's still not.
anyway, let me turn this off here. So the plan was to share with you E3. It's our emergency response program. So just to clarify, I know some sharing information with others on the process of what it may look like in a building if an emergency happens, right? So we have our phones that they can pick up and hit the alarm, and the Martha Lazo's voice will come over the loudspeaker and initiate whatever it is that is announced. So that would be a hold, a lockdown, secure, and then I guess more lesson drills, they'll have to go and set the fire alarms, right? You have to set those up and set those off, and then you have to go in
Just kind
and
of what it's going to look like.
hit your response on E3.
What's that?
So
Each teacher has this on their
it seems like a lot, but the intent behind it is in the past, right? I would have to try to call Luke and say, hey, there's an individual on campus, and that's if he answered, right? In this case, basically all you have to do is you go to alerts. There's these different type of alerts. I'm not sure if you guys can see them from there.
I just showed them on my phone.
So
I
you
have
have
an idea.
secure hold, and these are all the alerts that go with our I Love You Guys programming. So let's say we want to go into secure. We would hit secure, and we can send out a drill, or you can do this as a live alert. And this is on every administrator's phone, any teacher who's wanted it, right? Because you can't require them to have it on their phone. It's an option for them. And then it is installed on everyone's computer. So right now we have internal and external. This is where Robert's working with the local police department and fire, yep, getting them on board with this.
So what percent of teachers have it on their phone? Most of them?
I don't know the exact number of that, but
Have been advised to put it on their phone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be on their phone or their computers in their
Yeah.
room.
It's on their computer.
Yeah, is it on everybody?
yeah, it's on every computer.
Yeah, everyone.
But if teachers outside or walking with kids
Yep.
somewhere.
So really the intent behind this right here, so like if I hit a drill, so I'll give you, here's a, let me see here. You go to settings.
Call a drill at the district office. I'll put it on my phone right now so you can see what it would look like.
Okay, so yeah, so let's say we just see somebody outside right now, right? We would go, should we go lock, let's go
Let's go.
secure. And then you're gonna say, we're gonna send this as a drill, and here's what will happen. So, Amy?
Come up.
So
That's coming from your phone? Whose phone?
yeah, anybody who has the app downloaded.
Yeah.
It's coming
So-
from
It's
your
not
phone?
yet,
And
ain't
then-
mine
Your
yet.
phone didn't work.
No.
Uh-oh. Bowie's worked.
Well, I think I actually. Oh.
Should have worked, right?
Yep. So I hit off the school district one. It's a secure. What would happen is individuals go to their map. Sorry, I had my phone as well, so I gotta.
Sorry. Yeah. The hand's open.
They would go, yeah. So they would go to the map or the alert. It'll say check in. So I would hit check in. I would go to the map. In the map, I don't know, it's not. I must have got in too late. I got a lot of apps open here. I was planning on using the board, so. That's why. So I actually did the school district one. It's actually just a handful of us. That was the demo one. So what would happen is you would go check in. Oh, let's see. It's not letting me.
Did yours come up, Gina?
No. It's because there was the school district one. They just recently set that one up for us as a brief, yeah. So anyway. You would check in, you would go to the map, and it would show you. See, these were all the alerts from today, like all the drills. And it is not. I broke it. Look at that.
It worked great today during
It
all
did,
the drills.
multiple
I got
times.
all the alerts from all the schools.
Well, the issue is, so the Nissa School District is the one they just recently set up for us, and we haven't added anybody or anything to it. So I did Nissa School District, not district office. And so, it's one that's in the process of being built, and so I just selected the wrong one. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to go in and fix it, because I'm pretty sure I just am now in here until we mark as safe. I wish I was able to log in, because I would be able to show you, when you hit check in, you go to the maps, and each one of these buildings will have a map of the classroom. So this storage room right here would show on the map, and you would click safe, and you would say maybe you're hiding in the storage room.
That's the
A chat would
district
come up,
building.
and you would be able to chat with others, and
And
tell.
it
tell-
shows where the person with their phone is at.
Yep.
So if
Yeah.
they take the children
Yep.
with them to that spot,
Yep.
clicking.
So
Okay.
keep in mind that right there is going to be. It doesn't GPS ping, right? It just you notify the individuals where you're at.
Oh, okay.
So
So does it show you where the bad guy's at?
you can mark it that, say I was in the gym when I saw the individual and I set this off. I would mark that the danger's in the gym, and then the Nissa PD or whoever else is on this app would be able to also see that. And so when they're responding, they would get live updates. So maybe it started in the gym, then somebody else said danger's here, right? So it would show multiple areas. So, sorry, I totally messed this up. So,
How much training have the teachers had on this?
so we last year we had them all participate in about a half an hour training for them to get the app, and then also set off what we just did here, except for it went much better. And then this year, every time we run a drill, the teachers are participating in that, whether it's something at their computer. Some of them I've noted, like I looked at it today because I wanted to be ready for tonight. I noticed like some teachers are using their phone, or it'll show that they're checking in with their phone or they're checking in from their computer. So it actually tells us where they're checking, what they're checking in with, what device. It'll say mobile or whatever, their desktop. So the training is ongoing, right? Today, Crystal's actually the one who, because it makes sense, this is something I learned from Matt when we were at elementary, he'd always have somebody get on the phone and, right, go into lockdown or secure. So my thought is it shouldn't be me every single time that we have a lockdown, secure, hold, setting that drill, because in a situation, individuals won't know how to do it. So today, Crystal's the one who, set that off, and obviously we can't be doing those drills you know, multiple times in a week, because like you're in a meeting and your phone's gonna go off. So obviously we have them scheduled every month along with the fire drills, and the staff are also using this to initiate the evacuation for a fire drill, right? So the nice thing is, and with the exception of that one that's being built currently, all admin are on each other's or the other buildings. So if the elementary goes into a lockdown, high school will get a text or get that same notification what you just saw saying elementary's in a lockdown, and they could reach out and ask, what are we in a lockdown for? You're right, do we need to go into secure, which is basically bring everybody inside, continue teaching, but nobody's going outdoors, right? So that protocol is one of the vector trainings that they do at the beginning of the year, and it's in their classrooms, listed by their anchors and by their phone, or they will tell you by the door on your way out. So, but yeah.
But basically, it's going to require that the teacher have it on the cell phone, because if you evacuate this classroom where the computer is to that closet, and you're letting, you have to let someone know that you're all in the closet.
Yeah,
You don't have your-
in a perfect world, yes, that would be what we would want. However, teachers have the option to put it on their phone as it's their personal device. That's the difficult part, right? So we've had these conversations with individuals, and basically it's, hey, it's really up to you, but best practice, what's encouraged, right? Really the biggest thing for me with this option is if I'm walking down the road, right here, and something happens, right, I can easily just send that alert. Everybody's instantly notified. The nice thing is it initiates the individuals at the front desk, right, to pick up the phone and then do their campus announcement as well. So to me, it's, they talk about the seconds that count. That's that moment where I'm not trying to call Luke didn't answer. I'm trying to call Talon didn't answer, right? Today, I wish I had the example, because we had a medical response today. And Ryan, we were over here at the district office, we had the alert, we all got them in the chat, right? Student, this is a situation, ambulance on their way, it pretty much, nurses here, right? So it notified Andra as well. So if she's in a meeting and I oftentimes have my phone on silent, so Andra might in the same situation, this will override her silent call, right, or her silent option, and then she would pick up her phone, see it's a medical emergency, and say, okay, I have to respond. So there's an option for internal and external. So if you did internal, that's just going to be NISA, right, school employees. External is going to be your local PD and fire, and yeah. all those
Okay,
purposes.
and if it's something bigger that the local PD, needs assistance, it's up to the police department to call, like the state police, or,
What's up?
I mean, if it's a bigger incident.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll have this all going. I talked to our rep, sent him an email, because he was supposed to get a hold of everybody and let them know, the police department, fire department, and the ambulance. That way they can go through the training also. And he just reached out to them, told them, respond to me, give me a date where we can meet up so they can do the same training. It's a 20-minute training that they're going to go through and get everything set up on their work phones or whatever they want it on. And then that way everybody will be involved in it. And we'll have a quicker response probably, and they'll know exactly where to go. Because the thing is, with this app, when something goes off, they change colors. If everything's good, it's going to be green. If you see the shooter over here, you hit your button, it's going to turn it red. So wherever the red's at, that's where the danger spot's at. So hopefully we're going to get everything taken care of and get it all set. And that way we can get police department set up. And I know Steve has my old phone, so he says it goes off every once in a while when we're doing a training. freaked him out when it first started going off, because he had no clue it was on there. But it'll definitely wake you up,
Well, that was pretty loud.
yeah.
Yeah.
And when
Well,
you got a bunch of phones going off at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, like I have it on my phone, I have it on my iPad, I have it on my computer. So today in my office is just like,
I was at the dentist for Fruitland last month when it went off, so I just marked myself safe as I was getting my teeth cleaned, but I said that I was off campus.
I want to ask a question, is there a way to silence that noise? And the reason why I'm asking that is you've got people hiding in places and not taking it off.
yeah. So there is an option to send on the silent notification. Yeah. So,
That won't override, right?
yeah, yeah.
So along those lines, if somebody's going to put information into it or review like the chat box, is there a PIN required to get to that? And I guess what scenario in my mind is somebody gets a teacher's phone. All right, this group is in the gym, this group's in the closet, this group's, like, is that information protected or just anybody has a phone can see it?
Yeah, I mean, if you have the app, you can look. It's a live running app, so they would have to go to the app and open it. Technically, yes, because it's live in your phone. Just like I guess you'd say Facebook has a login, has a username, but obviously you want it to be live so that you get the call, right? Or at least the initial. The whole intent behind this app originally was to quicken the response time, and then also, right, people can mark themselves safe. There is going to be a feature that they're coming out with where you can actually have a roster of who's with you, but we looked at other versions of that, but we decided this is probably our best function. So.
And is our internet robust enough that phones, computers can all get it? I mean, my phone in Nissa,
Does not work.
come
Does
up
have
and
a
like
Verizon.
all cops, you can't do it.
Yeah.
So the internet itself is, right, and I mean, I think we're gonna be up to 10G here in a little bit. That's all the work we did, so the infrastructure is more than enough. I would say, as a safety group, we met and said, how do we communicate this better? Because right now, what would happen if there were some sort of issue, fire, ambulance, whatever it is, it would take us minutes, and as Bobby said, every second counts. This way, I can see where everybody's at. I can lock down a building within 20 seconds, which is amazing. Today, like there was the drill, Nikki Cutler, our, here at the district office, she said, hey, I have this student. So now instead of like a fire drill, like where's this kid at, what's going on, we know exactly those kids that are in different places, or, because a lockdown, right?
When you say lockdown, what do you mean?
So
I don't
that
know the
means
safety.
there's something in the building, or like, we're closing all doors, we're shutting it down.
No
These
teaching.
these
No
doors,
teaching.
they
Yeah.
close manually though, right?
These ones are right at the elementary, you just pull the magnet.
Yeah, you pull the thing and it's locked. And
There's an automatic switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Physical.
They're locked.
Yeah.
Put a little thin magnet, you just
So-
pull them
so
out
Nick-
and
At the door though.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was at a baseball bat, right?
So the protocol there, Nick, would be your lockdown is right. You have a serious situation on campus, and so you're going to stop teaching, turn the lights out. You're going to go away. Like you might hide right here in this area. Like if somebody was looking through a window, they couldn't see you. Right. Secure is going to be right. Maybe the high-speed chase ended by the park. We don't want kids on the playground. We're going to keep teaching. We're going to have things right. We're probably going to try not to go to maybe PE, right, if that's the situation. And then you had what would be a hold, like today's medical emergency in the office, or ended up in the office, right? They could call a hold, just saying, hey, let's not release kids. Let's just, when the bell rings, you're gonna hold them until you're notified. And then,
And who's assigned to the doors? Like, is there someone in the buildings assigned to the doors when there is like a lockdown?
yeah, so typically, I know just from experience, like at the elementary, someone is assigned to those doors, right? I know, like on the south wing, the second, third grade. Usually, it's been Paige Copeland and Christina Garcia.
Like they go and they pull the magnet
Yep,
to lock it.
yep. And then on the other wing, it'll be the same teachers at the end, and then the other wing very similar. I will tell you, like that's why we run drills, because today. the front door, one of the things I realized that we just didn't realize was to lock the front door, right? Everybody locked down, and as I was walking around, even Chris was like, are we supposed to do this? I said, yeah, just go in your office and close the door. But we haven't assigned somebody, and it's been Megan, but Megan was gone today, so.
Yeah, those are good questions in your security, is like,
Yep, so
who's there, who's secondary, who's,
That's
you know.
why we do drills.
Yep, and so that's like today's drill, that's right, we just point out the weaknesses and then we make sure we communicate, hey, it's a weakness we had in our drill, something we need to make sure we're doing. You know, these other doors remain locked all the time, so it's really just this one that we need to make sure we get locked in a lockdown situation, so.
I would follow up with the fire and ambulance because I know they haven't done the training.
Yeah, and I think it's probably on the E3 side, trying to get out and get it scheduled. I did talk to Officer Wilson, and it's as easy, right, in terms of training, we can get their emails, and it's very, very like minor. It's not very intensive training at all. Yeah, you could run an Instagram or Facebook or.
And another thing, if you're not familiar with what they mean, if you log into E3, at the very bottom, it says plan, you hit that, and then let's say you hit the lockdown. It'll tell you exactly what the
That
lockdown,
means.
yeah, what it means. So you can just go in and hit all of them, and it'll tell you exactly what it means, that the teachers and everybody's supposed to be doing with the students.
Do you want to read
So
that?
we're in a drill for
Yeah.
2 hours. So.
And how often do you do drills?
So the state requires us to do a drill monthly. So we always do a fire drill, and then it's always either followed by a lockdown, secure, evacuation. It could be simulated gas leak or something like that. So yeah.
So really, we went from having no way to communicate. Hopefully, we get to hold of somebody in an office, right? Like, what if a parent comes in, something happens at the office, and if that's where we control all of the alerts, we'd have no way to shut it down or do those things. And so now we not only have the ability to do it anywhere on campus, we now can see where people are, right? And then, I mean, again, it's not the most perfect one ever, but it actually increases our ability to keep kids safe and our adults. So it's pretty cool when it works. Unlike today. No, it's
Yeah, today was,
Yeah.
honestly, it was perfect.
Yeah.
You know, and Mr. Kleber at the high school did a great job just posting in the comments, like, this is the situation, nurses here, ambulance are on the way. So, you know, I was going outside like, hey, well, let me direct the ambulance. I look out, Brett's already out there, so I just call Brett, like, hey, you guys got this manager, do you need anything else? Just because not everything has to be in the chat, right? I think the chat's that real direct information initially, so it doesn't get lost. So, yeah. Sorry I didn't get this up, but I will, we have some videos that kind of show a little more in depth of what it is and what it looks like. And they're about 15, 20 minutes. We can share those out to you so you can
Yeah, we
watch
can email them to us.
What's that?
Email them to us?
Yeah, we can email them to you.
We appreciate that.
So, sorry, we got all these devices and the only thing I could do is set an alert, so that was awesome. That, at least it did its job. So.
Well, any questions for Robert or Bobby?
And how long have we actually had this system?
So we started, this is where I'm kind of still involved only because I initiated the piloting of the program and implementation, and so that's where Robert's kind of taking it, and we want to make sure we, you know, transition this, you know, intentionally and making sure we don't let anything fall through the gap. So starting last spring, we were piloting the program. This is our first official start to it. So.
But we still need to get the police department.
Yep, yeah, that's the onboarding of all that, yep. So, yeah.
And do you have a timeline for when you get the external departments all involved, like Halloween or something?
Well, I would say that timeline, I think we were pushing probably for a couple weeks ago, huh? So we're a little bit behind the timeline, and like I said, that was just trying to get everybody on the same page, and you know, the department's scheduling the training at their, you know, when they're able to. So, and like I said, it could be as simple as us going down and at least getting it started on their phones, and then follow up with a short training on their own time, because there's pre-recorded trainings to these. So, but that was the plan, and you know, like
Just out of curiosity, do other districts in the area have this?
The districts that I found that had this were more in the Boise area, so that were using E3. So that's who I'm aware of, and there could, I know when I shared this with, I'm on a couple county teams, MDT teams, last spring, they were all pretty excited, they were very interested in it, so it might be something that others are turning to, and then before you know it, maybe dispatch as it, because Bell, Ontario, and, right, so it could become a countywide thing, so.
And are there competing groups that do this same, companies that do this same type of thing?
Absolutely, yeah. Yep, that, we looked at a different one, but this is the one we ultimately chose. We looked at 2 or 3 options, so.
Any other questions for?
Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.
I like it.
Appreciate it. Thank
Wish
you.
I
That's
had it
great.
to work, but.
And before we transition, what I wanted to do, so part of it is, last, I think 2 weeks ago, I sent out kind of those options for the turkey field. We're not gonna discuss it today, but I just wanted to do is remind everybody, about this. I also have, Nick has put together something for option 3, that limited access. And really, we wanna gather the information so we can make an informed decision. And so Nick put some things together. I know that if you look at it, right, saying, hey, what if we have we need a new camera out there, really to kind of see, well, how much does that cost us, or what, of these things. And so what I wanted to do is kind of remind everybody and give you this information to look through and come up with those questions so we can make an informed decision. Because what we don't want to do is say, we're going to put all these things in, you come back and say, well, Ryan, what does that cost? And I said, I can't give you a ballpark right now, and then we're back another month. And so we need to really hone this in, and obviously October 17th is our date on there. But we've got about a little bit of time, but not much.
Do you have any more?
Oh yeah, it should. Sorry.
So
I already have one.
I do think one thing we should talk about real quick, because the topic's come up quite a bit, and, Nick thinks of putting this together on an option for keeping it open and protecting it, but this has some things in it for Ryan to take a look at. Cost for cameras, cost for a locking gate. Does anybody else have any other ideas, any other things?
I mean, things that I added to this are like, okay, the things we've talked about, animals. There's no animals. There's a recommendation of using the track on the outside. There's, a curfew on there. I mean, all those are, up for us to talk about, so.
Right, but specifically, is there anything else somebody says, hey, this is a safety feature I want implemented so the administration can take a look at what would the cost be?
That's what I want to make sure I can do my homework to
Right.
let you guys be informed. I know, I was talking to Shannon at Umatilla, right? They got a new fence that did like the first 3 rows of the track and the turf, right? So something that they can move, but it has that, so everybody can use the outsides. That's not an issue, and it leaves it open. Well, what would that cost us, right? And I said, hey, that's going to cost us $80,000. Like, maybe that's not the option we want. And again, but like I said, I couldn't tell you unless if any of those things. And like I said, Nick has put these together as some options. I can get as much information to you guys as possible to help direct me and say, yes, we want these things. Your job is now execute.
And even more than just a camera. So I was told the other day of a local business that has a camera that if you're on their property after hours, it shoots a laser at the person and says, you're trespassing, and the laser starts moving to escort them off the property. They follow the laser and it will take you off the property.
Yeah, that would be something we could look at. I mean, it's
Yeah, I don't know what it costs, but the cool thing about that would be, if somebody has that hit them, they know they're being watched. And if they're there to cause trouble, as soon as they know they're being watched, that's a pretty good deterrent.
Yeah.
So probably an expensive camera or 2, but it's an expensive project.
Well, do you at least have an idea of how much that would cost?
Time-wise?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I just want to make sure we stay on time. But yeah,
I don't know what the commitment was.
so anything you guys have, email me those questions. Like, this, and then Nick did a good job kind of giving us a roadmap with some things to think of. And just like Dustin said, that camera system does that.
Makes us look better.
Anything you think of, hey, what would it cost to have a security person here? Obviously that's probably not something we're gonna, I can investigate that.
Okay, so you would like our suggestions by Friday?
But hopefully, yeah, they give me a couple weeks, so it'll be one of the main topics on our study session in October.
Maybe the company that promised that it would be done in time.
Maybe they could be.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
I
so,
guess since we're talking
They
about
promised
turf,
us at 2 different meetings,
Yeah.
so they need to do something
Are
to.
we looking for gate cut and food costs from the company?
and that's something that we have got with them and explored that, kind of loss in revenue on those things. 'Cause obviously, we've already had we're rescheduling our second game with Payette coming up, and so that's something that we haven't really approached them.
And you need to, because they promised us at 2 different meetings.
Yes, they did.
Right.
All
We're
I
the
know
ones
is we
that have to
paid,
face the
how much
community.
money did we gain to start this off? Over $100,000. Do the testing on that soil to cure this very problem, right?
No, the problem has to do with material that was brought in. It had nothing to do with the material that's in there currently.
So
it
it's
was-
not our fault.
So, yeah, so there wasn't, that's not something they could test and survey, because it was whatever we got from the
That's
company.
Several reasons why it's going on.
Yeah.
Right, some of us, some of us, so much.
So,
And I got a hold of Chris Carlton today and said, put together your net food, and not how much you bought and how much you're going to sell, but what is the profit? Yeah, so he's working on that. That's it.
And those are figures that we really do need to have.
yeah, if that's something we want to entertain and
We should look at it.
But that's something that Jesse and I are working with the company, working through and just saying, hey, what does that mean? Is that, we want to talk to them about recuperating some of that, because those go back to our programs,
Right.
and we're losing out on that, so.
Right.
Anyway, okay, perfect.
Okay,
Well, pause and we can invite those guys in. You want to invite them in?
We would like to pursue your classes.
Huh?
the work session,
I don't know.
the
They're not, yeah.
work session will be adjourned and we will go into our regular session. Or
Yep. Yeah, that's perfect.
Hey, Ryan, do you have an extra, whatever you tossed out?
Nope.
Perfect.
Of course I did.
I always forget stuff.
Where's the baby?
I left him at home.
With who? Was it right?
You want to make sure it's different? Right, so this is in general, that's. So, yeah, so that's what I checked.
Okay, we will move into our regular session. The regular session is in order and it is 3 minutes after 6. We've all been told to tell that you are pledge of allegiance.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'm standing. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Brooke. Next item is the adoption of the agenda. Are there any changes or amendments to the agenda? Hearing none, then we will adopt the agenda as presented. Next item are commendations. Let's start with the elementary school.
Thank you. Start with our students.
All right. Mariano, you want to come up?
Wait, come here.
Come here, Ryan. Come here.
We have to see some fun things about you. Put that on her.
All right. I'm excited wanted to recognize Mariano Sanahara, one of our first grade students, for his incredible dedication to learning and personal growth over the summer. While many kids take a well-earned break in summer, Mariano kept challenging himself in all sorts of ways, whether it was practicing his reading, practicing his fact fluency, or simply exploring his own science projects. His curiosity and love for learning really stood out. But it wasn't just academics. What really impressed me was Mariano's perseverance. He takes on hard things without giving up. Even when something is tough, he stays focused and keeps trying. That kind of determination is inspiring and shows real grit. Most of all, what makes Mariano so special is his desire to grow and be the best version of himself. He's made big strides in maturity, and it's clear that he cares about becoming not just a great student, but also a kind and thoughtful person. I am so proud of him, from Mrs. Berry. And our next student is Sophia Ruiz. This young lady is standing out for all the right reasons. She is anxiously engaged in her schoolwork and supporting students in her class. She is in the dual language program at Nissa Elementary School, bright eyes and eager to learn. Mr. Pratt was in need of a student to help with morning announcements, and she volunteered to step in and help. Nervous but confident that she could do it. She did so well, compliments from teachers poured in. Her positive voice helped many students in their classroom to really have a great day. She is in our student leadership and is already leading the way to a better school. She has volunteered to share a message on Patriot Day with the school at our assembly. I am proud of her for stepping in, learning, sharing her positive attitude, and being a role model for the rest of the school. She is a 5th grader with a big heart, a big smile, confidence, and big dreams. Thank you for being you, from Mr. Pratt. Sophia is a hardworking, responsible student. She goes above and beyond in the classroom to follow expectations, learn as much as possible, and help her peers when needed. Her excellent communication skills and leadership skills shine throughout school days, from Ms. Hayes. And then I commend Sophia for Student of the Month for the following reasons. Sophia has demonstrated excellent classroom management skills by being responsible and a positive role model for other students. Sophia is always on task when asked to do independent and group work. Sophia always has great ideas and is always volunteering to share them with the rest of the classroom. Sophia is always encouraging other students to stay on task by being a role model others want to follow in the classroom, in the hallways, and outside on the playground, from Senior Nunez. Congratulations, Sophia.
And our staff member of the month, Mr. Ryan Tracy, would you come up here, sir? You got a little gift card. Mr. Tracy, we have many to read here, but we'll read a few of these comments that are awesome about you. I get to pop in and observe students in Mr. Tracy's class sometimes. When I'm there, I'm amazed at the activities that he leads that engage the students. He does many creative activities and teaches the kids great concepts with movement. My children and my family love his class, and we often hear about his class over dinner. Thanks for the contribution to making our students better. And also, Ryan has been a pillar of our PBIS at Nissa Elementary School in the community. He pushes beyond what you would expect in a physical education class to ensure that students are working their bodies and their minds. He took the time this summer to travel to Tacoma to a Character Strong conference. He was always engaged in post-conference conversations and innovative thinking for what to do to improve Nissa Elementary School. I appreciate that he shows us that every adult can do character and culture work all the time, every day. Plus, he's a really good buddy to have when you might need to work your way to a free continental breakfast, Mrs. Olson. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we don't make it without our volunteers, and somebody might recognize this person, but when Whitney Martinson is our volunteer for the month. We're so happy to have you at the school. And Whitney, thank you for giving your time to the students and staff at this elementary school. Your dedication to our students and staff is truly appreciated from this book. And Whitney is a fixture in our building as a parent volunteer. She gives her time selflessly and generously. Parent volunteers like her are how we are able to make exceptional growth with our students and thrive as teachers in our practice. Thank you, Whitney, from Mrs. Olson. So, congratulations.
Please don't leave because we need to have photos after. So next on our list would be middle school.
All right, our middle school student of the month is Juan Iniguez Lazo. All right, first one here. Juan is nothing but a great student. He's fully engaged in learning and understanding. He wants what's best for himself, but beyond that, he wants what's best for his peers. He stays on task and models what a great student is. If someone else is struggling, he waits until the right moment and steps in to help his peers. What a great kid. Congratulations, Juan, from Mr. Cisneros. Juan is just a great asset to the Nissa Middle School cross-country team. He works extremely hard every day at practice. He consistently demonstrates respect for both his peers and his teachers, creating a positive and friendly atmosphere in the classroom. He works well in group settings, contributing thoughtfully to projects, and communicating effectively with his classmates and teammates. Great job, Juan, from Mr. Dahl. And here's one from Mrs. Cuevas. Juan has started the school year with his best foot forward. 6th grade is not the easiest transition, but Juan has made it a point to help his peers, ask great questions, and be an amazing example of our district motto, Nissa Strong. His willingness to include others and find positive connections in classes makes writing class very fun. Thank you to his parents for supporting our school-wide expectations, and thank you to Juan for always being willing to uphold and exceed good human behaviors.
My student's not here, but I'm going to read it. Is that okay? And we'll get to make sure we're on there. Hopefully, I didn't tell her 7. I didn't think I did. Isabella Ariola is our student of the month. She's one of those people who just makes school a better place. She's known for a genuine kindness and bright smile. She always has a positive attitude and lifts up those around her. Whether she's helping a friend on a tough assignment in health class, bringing her infectious energy to cross-country team, or simply offering a listening ear, she makes everyone feel valued. Super job. That's from Mr. Dahl. Miss Ellie says she's a fantastic example to others. She consistently arrives with a warm smile and is a valuable asset to both our school and community, demonstrating kindness and respect for everyone she meets. Mr. Lamb says she's very conscientious to deliver students. She's hardworking and dedicated to be successful in all she does. She's also a kind person who's very involved in NHS. And then Mrs. Watt says very kind and talented. She always does her best and is always there to lend a helping hand. She challenges herself to do hard things even when it seems a bit scary. I was excited to see her start to take on leadership role in hosting this year. I'm looking forward to seeing her grow even more this year. So congratulations, Isabella.
We got one more. Yep.
Oh, excuse me. I
Yes.
forgot about
Our first ever Nissa virtual school. It's our student.
Yeah. Okay, how do I do?
Copy that. There you're all set to go.
So, yeah, one of my intentions this year as the principal for the virtual school was to build some kind of community engagement with the virtual families. So, I've been hard at work at reaching out to families. They've been sending me pictures. We have a Facebook page now. Families are sending me field trip photos and kids in action at home. So, we are honoring 2 students, the Coney family, and I'll let the video speak for itself and go from there.
Ralph, Hudson, Grayson, Tony. First ever Hudson and Grayson, we are honored that you are a part of the school district family. Thank you for your creativity, dedication, and your love of learning. Congratulations on being our first ever Students of the Month. Enjoy this video. Here you go.
And hopefully they can watch online and see
Yep.
them being recognized.
It's already been shared, so.
Yes, and so they'll get in the mail, we'll send out their medal and their certificate to honor them, and those are some of our first virtual students we've seen, so thank you very much.
No problem.
Luke, Mr. Cleaver, would you like to?
I would love to, yes. You want to come up and have you read the Spanish version? We'll do that instead, since I already read the
Very good.
English version. How about that? Isabella, why don't you come up? We'd like to honor you as Student of the Month for Nissa High School. Okay, while you were gone, I already did my part, so he's going to read the Spanish version for your mom. Is that okay? Congratulations.
Dice, Isabela es una de esas personas que simplemente hacen que la escuela sea un lugar mejor. Isabela es conocida por su amabilidad y su brillante sonrisa. Siempre tiene una actitud positiva que anima a quienes la rodean, ya sea ayudando a una amiga con una tarea difícil en la clase de salud, compartiendo su energía con el equipo de correr o simplemente ofreciendo un oído atento. Ella hace que todos se sientan valorados. Gran trabajo, Isabela. Eso es del señor DeLong. La señora Cleaver dice, es un ejemplo fantástico para los demás, siempre llega con una sonrisa amable y es un recurso valioso para nuestra escuela y la comunidad. Demuestra amabilidad y respeto a todas las personas que conoce. El señor Lam dice, Isabela es una estudiante muy aplicada y dedicada, es trabajadora y se dedica a tener éxito en todo lo que hace. Isabela también es una persona amable que participa mucho en la preparatoria de Nissa. Y la señora Watts dice, Isabela es amable y talentosa, siempre da lo mejor de sí misma y siempre está ahí para echar una mano. Se reta a hacer cosas difíciles, incluso si parecen un poco intimidantes. Me emociona verla comenzar a tomar un papel de liderazgo en HOSA este año y espero verla crecer aún más este año. Felicidades, Isabela.
Mr. Sevier will be taking pictures of
Okay.
This one right there.
You guys want to come in? Our award winners would like to step out in the hallway.
With your families.
With your families, please, just go and take your pictures. And you're all welcome to come back if you would like to.
Good job.
The next item on our agenda are visiting patrons. We have our student council representatives.
Would you like it right here? Sure. Right here? Sure. Hello, everybody. I'm Aslan Carrasco, our ASB president. Good afternoon to everybody. So the first thing I wanted to address was our climate currently of our school. First, I feel like a big thing that our school altogether has gone through is a new rule on the phones of them not being there anymore. And for us students, I feel as though we really aren't impacted as anything. I see more more socializing, more everybody talking in the hallways. It's honestly, I don't think one student has been like, wow, we can't have our phones, big deal. Another thing I'd like to address is the no backpack rule anymore in the high school. I feel like the first couple of weeks as students really were like, wow, we really want our backpacks just to have all of our stuff together and not have to carry it around everywhere, do the hassle of our lockers. But now I feel as though everybody's adjusted to it. Again, it's not a big deal to us students. We've worked through it. So another thing is what's going on in our student council meetings there in the high school. So we've been pushed back homecoming due to the turf not being complete, which a lot of students are like, dang, we can't have homecoming soon now. But it's also given us student council more time to organize and come up with more ideas to make it more enjoyable for when it does come up. So we're grateful that we got that extended time period.
I didn't pay her, by the way. I'm just pointing it out there. Yeah.
So when is homecoming?
That's awful.
Yeah.
When is homecoming now?
November 1st.
Yeah, the dances are,
The game.
the game is October 31st, the
Yes.
dance is November 1st.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and then I'd lastly like to ask if there's any questions or things you guys would like to see from the students, or lastly, any questions like in general over any of that?
Do you have any questions? We will probably think of some eventually.
Yeah.
But,
It's just fun to hear what's going on, what
Yes.
you guys are doing.
and it's nice to meet you. We would like to meet your other
Students.
officers.
Yeah.
If they would come to our next meeting. would be
Yeah, we
very
can
nice.
of course do that. Yeah, we'll arrange that for next meeting, meeting everybody coming through. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
guys.
much.
Thank you.
Next item, public comment. We have any comment? No public comment. We'll move on to reports then. Mr. Hawkins.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And again, welcome to our board meetings. We look forward to having you here all year, so I appreciate it. I mean, I was going to say that until she threw in the big thing with, anyway. Superintendent's message. So, believe it or not, we are already nearly 1 month into the school year. Like, how crazy it is to think about that. Actually, this week marks the last Friday for students of the year. And so, obviously, we still have some PD for some teachers, but this week marks the last Friday that we're going to have for students. So, we've already seen many benefits of the new calendar, and one that stands out is the significant increase in Friday attendance. It reinforces really that every day matters, and we're seeing kids here. And like I said, I've been sharing with the board above 93–94% of student attendance, which is really cool. So, as I do in each September, I'd like to share an update on our enrollment numbers. Overall, we're up by more than 161 students compared to last year. While we've seen a reduction in elementary grades, our middle school and high school numbers are strong, and the NISA virtual continues to see significant growth there. And if you look on your next 2 pages, you can really see a breakdown of what the numbers are this year. And I marked it out because as of even from when I ran this last Friday to now, there was a change in there, but I have 25, 26, and then 24, 25, just so you guys can compare. I also have on the first page is our inter-district enrollment numbers. They are also up from last year. Transfers into NISA are higher, which is encouraging. So, and most of the transfers that we see in our transfers out, most of them are students that have never attended NISA. So we're not only attracting more kids in, more kids are staying in, and so we have seen an increase of our inter-district transfers as well. So next, I'd like to call up Mr. Murray to share some great news from Dr. Williams over at ODE regarding our federal programs, including specifically the programs in our Title I-C migrant education programs.
Good evening, everybody. Start off with, I want to talk about our migrant numbers. They are at 125 students currently, which is down from 250 2 years ago at this time. So a significant drop off. The main reason for that is simply the fact that migrant families are not, although they continue to follow an agrarian agricultural lifestyle, they're not moving to do it. And of course, we know that in order to qualify for the migrant program, not only have to work in agriculture, but move to do that and actually change your residence. And that kind of drop off in numbers is occurring throughout Oregon as well as around the country. So there is some talk about possibly changing the requirements to be a migrant family, to be migrant students, in order to continue to include families that are no longer included, but that's in the talking phases right now. Secondly, as Mr. Hawkins mentioned, we have officially received the letter from the Department of Education that says we are in full compliance not only in the 1C program, but with all of our federal programs. And that did come, and I believe you've gotten a copy of that, so you have that in your hands as well. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is that next Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, we have our first PAC meeting here at 6 o'clock, and so you're invited to come to that.
Any questions, Mr. Murray, about any of that?
On those, the changes relating to who qualifies to be a migrant family, is that a federal,
Yes.
level? Any other questions for Mr. Murray? Thank you, ma'am.
Perfect, and we are waiting for a while for that letter from ODE. I mean, that's monumental to not only our school district, but our community as well. Long journey to get to here, and I remember when we started these reports, right, Mr. Murray, so I want to say thank you for that. So board members, I've also attached the OSBA proposed policy for electronic devices, so I have that in there as well. And you'll see through this whole packet I gave you, I killed a couple trees today. You'll see the proposed one, a model sample AR, but what I've also done is attached the cell phone policy or the electronic device policy that our administrators helped put together for the handbooks that was communicated to the community and our students. And as you can see, they actually did an amazing job. They line up, I mean, word for word in there. And so, but I also attached on the back of that our current policy, so you have that to review. As you know, that we're required by the state of Oregon to have that adopted by October 31st, which will mean our next board meeting, we need to have our policy adopted. So during our study session, we'll look at it, and then, so that's why I attached the proposed one for you so we can get that adopted as well. So any questions on that, let me know, but this is your kind of your guys' time to review that. Anyway, okay, and so this positive momentum, higher attendance, increased enrollment, and federal program progress show that our goals around academic success, student engagement, and community partnerships are taking hold, and we're seeing some amazing things going on. And so I want to say thank you to not only Mr. Murray, but our administrators and the board for the work that we're doing. Like, a month in, next thing you know, I'm going to be like, hey, school's out. So we have a lot to work to do. But anyway, so that is all I had for everybody today, so thank you.
Are there any questions for the superintendent? Hearing none, then we will move on to Crystal, financial report.
All right, good evening. I'm wearing many hats this evening, and just want to shout out Megan because she's amazing and minutes are not fun. Anyway, so tonight I have provided you guys financials through August 31st. Always the first report that I provide is our general fund. So the first page is our summary, both July and August, and then the next page breaks down those July and August numbers. So we're right on track, right where we need to be. Notice we have not received any current year taxes. That's because no one has paid their current year taxes. We're in the 25-26 year, so that's why that number says 0 still. You will begin seeing numbers in that row in November. So the taxes that we do receive are considered prior year tax at this point. We also got our state school fund. Notice that number has been adjusted for our virtual numbers. So our revenue came in a little under 2.3 million for the month. It was a very basic month of expenditures, nothing exciting. We did have to pay out our PACE bill though, so that's why our dues and fees line was over 340,000 because we had to pay that PACE bill. So, but expenditures for the month under $1 million, so we're carrying forward for the month of August almost 1.3 million, which just adds to our cumulative balance that we take with us all year long until we spend it all in June. After that, it's just a breakdown of our LGIP accounts. You can see what went in the account, what went out of the account, and the county report on those prior year taxes that we received in that account. Our middle school bond fund. It's moving right along. We're currently a little over 54,000. We have a debt service payment coming up in December. After we receive those taxes in November, I'm confident we'll have enough money to make that payment. And so after that is the breakdown of our LGIP account for that money. We keep that separate from our district money. And also the report from the county on those taxes that we received. Following that is our operating statement for food service. Note, we served 10 days of meals for the month of August. So wasn't a lot of school, so it felt like a long 10 days. But so our revenue is a bit down in August compared to last year. Last year we served 17 days of school, I believe, off the top of my head. And then we still had our salaries and benefits, and we're ordering food to prepare for the school year. So we are currently sitting at 40,000 in the red. Do our best to menu the best we can, order the best we can, and get students served so we can get as much revenue as we can. After that, I provide to you the approval of the bills report. This is everything that was ran out of our checking account from August 1st, and I ran it through September 4th. And following that is the breakdown of the payroll report for the month of August. And enjoy the small reports, because next month it's full payroll and your reports will be a lot longer. So, does anyone have any questions? Oh, update on the business office. Apologize. Auditors will be here for their second round and to finish our audit on September 25th, 29th. It's the last Monday of the month.
29th.
Thank you, 29th. So I anticipate a good solid probably 3 days, and then they'll go back, draft the audit, and then hopefully present. My goal this year is November, but we have until December to present that to the board. So that's where we're at.
Any questions for Crystal? Thank you, Crystal.
You're welcome.
Moving on. Administrative report. Matt on English language learners.
So this report here, I believe you have a copy of in your packet. And this is an annual report that OBE puts out on the state of English language learners in Oregon, the demographics of those students, and also their performance as it relates to non-English learners in Oregon. This is a general report. Obviously, it's not specific to NISA. It's a statewide report on the status of those elements. But there is something in the report that I'd like to draw your attention to, which connects the report as general as it is to what is specifically going on in NISA. You may know that last year, one of probably our largest focus, our most principal focus academically for our students was to improve the quality of instruction we provide to English language learners. Again, these are students whose second language is English, first language is, in almost all cases, here Spanish. And one of the things that we have recognized as a district in trying to increase the quality of the academic performance of our students is that our English language learners score below our non-English language learners, our native English speakers. And that goes without saying. It makes sense. These are students who are working in a language that isn't their native language, so they are likely to perform at a lower level. Having said that, what I'd like to show you here is some interesting information. And this is just one page out of the report that I'm going to draw your attention to. Let that come around and then we can talk about it just a little bit.
Matt, what is current English learner, monitored English learner, former English learner, what do those mean?
Okay, great, yeah. That's a great question, and as soon as you get that, we can talk about that a little bit because they're all on there. So the first group of students that I'd like to draw your attention to, we're just looking at that graph there. Look at the red bar on the graph. The red bar represents the current English language learners. Now, this is in the state, but it would be similar here in this too. And you can see that this shows their level of performance, their level of proficiency on the state language arts exam. And it's divided out by elementary, middle, and high school grades. And you see that at all levels, the English language learners are not performing very high, 7% proficient at the elementary and 4% more or less at the middle and high school. If you compare those students with the native English learners, and Mr. Hartley, you were asking about that, they're represented by the gray bar. And so you see that in all three cases, the native English students are outperforming pretty significantly second language learners. 6% or 7% versus 48 at the elementary, 3% versus, what do you have there? 49, I'm looking at that.
Oh, sorry.
And 4% versus 49, almost 50 in the high school. So the interesting thing here, though, is that if you look at the black bar represents the students who were formerly English learners, but who passed the state exam at the proficient level, and now are what are called former English learners. They were current English learners, now they're former English learners. So that would be, for example, a student who passed the exam this past spring and is now considered a former English learner. If you look at the elementary numbers there, you've got, 82% of the former English learners are at the proficient level versus 40-something% of the current English learners. So these are actually second language students who are outperforming native English speakers. See the same thing at the middle school, not quite as dramatically, but the black bar representing the former English learners is higher than the native English speakers there. Not so at the high schools, a little bit of a difference there, but the point is that when these students reach a level of proficiency where they can actually engage with the material, not just understand it, but manipulate it, compare and contrast, so on and so forth. Do all those higher level things that students need to do while using language and with the curriculum. You see how well they perform. And so that's the reason why we are so interested in focusing on those students and getting them to proficiency as quickly as possible, because once they're there, they can very adequately engage with the material. And so that's what I wanted to point out to you, because again, that was our focus last year academically as a district, to bring up the level of instruction to English language learners, and it continues to be a focus this year. We've embedded that learning that we had last year into our evaluation document to bring it forward and continue to keep it in front of our teachers, our administrators, and everyone else. So that is my report.
Did we get a report on?
Answer your question on?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Did we get a report on our exact numbers?
Did we get a report on our exact numbers?
Yeah.
Yes. And I don't have them right here for you, but I'll certainly.
That would be interesting to compare.
Provide them.
Do we have anything like this for the immersion program? That shows those who are learning who are, they're never ELS, but they are current SLSs, Spanish language learners.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything like that that shows how our students in our school are doing in that program?
Yep.
That there would be a similar chart to this?
Yep, we do. Provide that as well.
That'd be awesome.
Yep.
Okay, that'll be good. Sure.
Any other questions from me? Then we will move on to Kathleen Burbank.
Actually, let's just do this. Can you take one and pass it down?
Michelle?
Thank you. There's 3 different ones. That's easier. Yeah, there we go. So, hi, Kathleen. I'm Kathleen Burbank, and I'm here to talk to you about the hat that I'm wearing today is the Talented and Gifted program. So that's why I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about today. And where we're going to start is with this little mini handout, just to kind of give you a snapshot of where we are right now with the Talented and Gifted program. So if you can, when you get this one, we'll start talking through it.
Yeah, no problem.
So this is the NISA Talented and Gifted program. Up at the top, it says how many are in the program. So right now we have 31 students that have been identified and are in the program. And you can kind of see our breakdown of how many, about what percentage of them are elementary, how many are middle, and how many are high school. So we have a pretty large contingent at the middle school right now. The elementary school, because generally they don't get identified until 2nd grade, that's one reason why it's a little bit smaller. And we also just kind of had a huge group of 5th graders just move up into the middle school, so that was one reason why. We have, the next section says, how have the TAG students been identified? So I'm going to explain this. So 28 of them were referred and 3 were due to universal screening. So we have a universal screening at 2nd grade. We give them the cognitive abilities test and we test every 2nd grader. And that is what, and moving forward, we've done that with the current cognitive abilities test, we've done that for 2 years, and we've been able to kind of pull out and find those TAG students. So that's how 3 of them were identified. The other 28 were teachers saying, hey, I think this kid is performing a little bit faster, they're working at a faster pace than the other kids, or they're achieving a little bit higher than the other kids. Can we look at the student? And so then we basically gather a portfolio, we get teacher input, we get parent input, and then we give them the same cognitive abilities test and see how they score. The next section just below that says the tag types, and that's what we get from that cognitive abilities test. Is that that dark blue is how many out of the total that we have in our district right now. How many were, took the cognitive abilities test and tested as intellectually gifted, which means high in every level. It has it's a whole battery of tests. It actually has 9 tests that they have to take. So if you're referred, you're in for some testing. And it has a verbal section, a nonverbal section, and then a spatial section. So if they're intellectually gifted, it means they were at the tippity top of all 3 of those. And then the next one on the a little bit below that is ATM and R, which is, oh my goodness, I mean, academically talented in math and reading. And they scored very high in the verbal and nonverbal, basically. It's like they didn't have that spatial piece, they didn't have that really high, like they weren't in the top 10th percentile of the spatial piece. And then we have academically talented in math and academically talented just in reading. So those are the different tag types, and that's kind of how our entire TAG program breaks down. As you can see, next to that, elementary students with personal education plans. That's what we put together for the elementary students, so that I should say, the teacher is the point of service according to how Oregon runs the TAG program. So it's not a pull-out program. It is that the teacher is differentiating lessons so that the TAG students still grow an entire year every year, where instead of just being stagnant and staying at the top. So the teacher is actually the point of service with using me as a resource. So if they're like, I have some kids, I just got an email this week, I have these 3 kids, what am I going to do with them? And so now I step in and I help the teacher kind of put together a plan and a way to challenge them, usually gather resources. That's usually what I end up doing. I was an advanced math teacher at elementary, so math I've got down. I can pass out stuff. And reading, I've been buying some reading groups to work with the TAG students on that as well. So, and then underneath that, and why do we only have 80%? Some were new, some just got identified at the end of the year. I haven't conferenced with those parents and families and put together the personal education plan. Down below that, families that have joined the TAG band. That band is like an app where I can directly contact families. So I got 58% of them, I invited all of them, I got 58% of them, and that's one of my goals this year, is to have more families. It was nice because over the summer I had TAG parents being like, hey, can you connect me with this? Hey, do you have any ideas for this? And I was able to send out, I sent out a newsletter and a slideshow of information about kids who were introverted, and that's kind of a significant portion of TAG students have some introversion. So here's how to pull them out of their shell, here's how to talk to them, things like that. So I was able to pass some of those things out. And then I wanted at the bottom to highlight the beginning of the year TAG numbers for 23, 24, we were at 0%, 24 for 25, we were at 1%, 25, 26, we're at 3%. My goal and kind of where I'm headed, this is not a firm number, but most districts kind of look for 10%. Like they're like, that's about where generally it all falls out. So I just have to be a good detective and find the other 7% of the kids. So, so I'm constantly looking, asking teachers. This right here, this is just a little TAG update that you can read later. It's about professional development that we've offered at the middle school, and we offered a countywide PD, and I'm hoping we can offer more during the year. Information for parents, like how I'm getting it to them. I'm hoping for more groups and activities. I worked with 4th graders on a reading unit last year, and you can see a picture of them. We had an escape room as part of that, and they were very invested in that. So about the Mysterious Benedict Society, and this year, next Monday, I'm starting our Enrichment 5th grade program so that I can work with 5th graders. The spot where the teachers really feel the need for enrichment tends to be 4th and 5th grade. I feel like the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade teachers can sometimes kind of figure it out. By 4th and 5th grade, they're like, we need additional help. So that's really where I've been being pulled in the most. And then this year's goals, a personal education plan for every elementary student, identifying more students, obviously. I'm going to try to have 1 or 2 family tag nights. I'm going to hopefully provide more PD for teachers and connect with families more. And then you may wonder, well, how do you get identified for tags? I just thought, I think I've passed this out before when I've spoken to you, but here's just our flow chart of how a student goes through the process of getting identified for tag. And if you do it, do any of you have any questions?
I have some questions.
Yeah.
So it says in I'm reading this in the elementary level, what are the academic programs? I know you said it was housed in their class, but are there like additional resources
So
available
like,
for them?
for example, I'm going to be doing an enrichment math class on Mondays with the tag students. So that is one of the additional programs.
You do that during school?
During school, yeah, that is a pullout. So occasionally, the other students are getting math at the same time. So it's more just like a regrouping of students. So I will take that group.
You do that per grade, or do you do it like?
I'm just doing it 5th grade right now, but I'll probably get pulled in. Usually it's 5th grade, sometimes 4th grade asks for some help in 3rd grade. Those are our 5th grade right now has a pretty large group of them. So that's one reason why I'm like running a full class. Sometimes we only have 1 or 2 at a grade. So then I usually just help give resources to the teacher.
And do we have like any online academic programs for some of these kids to get help with?
So I mean, our ST Math can move as quickly as the student can work, for sure. And so can our reading, I'm trying to think of, Imagine Learning can move as fast as they need to at the younger grades as well. Another thing that we do every year for math, and we usually sometimes do it for just 5th, sometimes we do it for 4th too, we participate in a national contest, and so they kind of train for that, and then they compete in that. That's one of the other programs. And then I'm hoping to get more reading groups started, and it's really just all about manpower and having time to do it. But I'm getting together a whole library so that we can pull those kids as well. So.
And this sounds new, but it sounds like it's getting really established in the elementary school. In the higher levels, how does that work out?
So in the higher levels, we kind of, I don't want to say tracking, but we do have advanced options, especially in math, where like they'll skip over 6th grade math, so they're being challenged. So I generally work as a resource in case there is that one like crazy outlier student, then I would definitely be there for a resource, but they tend to be able to choose their challenging route that they want to take. So it's not so much me pulling them aside. What we really want to build at the middle school and high school more with students is maybe like a social group or maybe some counseling services and things like that, just to make sure that we can check in, they're still feeling connected, and they're not feeling like they're being othered because they're more brilliant or moving faster than other students or things like that. So.
I think if you know, the big part of it is the PPPs and personal education plans to help path that way for families. I know, there's a thing that goes out, I'm going to work on something different on that, but middle school, high school as well to know, like, you are advanced, here's your path to college or career, wherever it's at, but that happens in elementary school. And so what we used to think of was tag was pull out and doing extra or giving more, or when you're done, you can do this book. I remember that was kind of a big thing when I was going through school. It's not that, it's about how do we enrich those experiences. And so that's really where their PEPs come into play. So not every tag kid looks alike. And so we have to kind of remember that. So Kathleen's been doing a good job of, remember 3 or 4 years ago we were having this conversation, you said, we want to see these plans, we want to do the 9th. I think Kathleen is an extremely good job of starting to meet those kids' needs. So.
It's exciting to see that there's being more done for the tag kids.
too.
And all 31 have been identified and are like in the program?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yep, yep. So, yeah.
I think, and last year we had a tag team graduate, and Kathleen goes and she does like an exit interview with those parents and say, hey, how was your experience? And this is so really we're trying to communicate more with parents, think about those experiences, and so it's we're rebuilding something. I mean, when we did, when I say Kathleen took it all and broke it all the way down, and said we're rebuilding this better. Tag has looked totally different in the state of Oregon, so it wasn't just you know, it used to be, hey, you look at your 98th percentile, right, and that's how you identify, and all of a sudden, so how can we be more inclusive? What does this look like? So it has been a big process. So.
And I'm learning a lot. I'm taking college classes right now to learn as much as I can so that I can serve everybody better here. So.
And families are being able to, I mean, you know, parents who have tag kids sometimes don't know what to do with it.
Exactly, yeah.
So, but you're able to help those parents.
Yes, yeah. And I've been able to gather a lot of excellent resources to be able to help them because, yeah, they have, they can be more sensitive than other kids. They can have more worries because they sometimes can, one thing I thought was interesting was when their parents are like, but you're going to be like a brain surgeon someday, you're going to save the world someday. Sometimes that kind of stuff can really trigger them and really have them feel like the whole weight of the world's on their shoulder because they're intelligent and everybody's looking at them like, you're going to be amazing. So just helping them understand that and helping the whole family see that that can lead to perfectionism and just lots of things that can be triggered with those kind of responsibilities for little kids. So yeah, it's been really interesting.
Any other questions for Kathleen? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it very much. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Are there any questions, concerns about consent agenda?
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Sorry. It's been moved by Dustin and seconded by Donnie to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor, signify by raising your hand. The motion carries. The next item, new business, the integrated program annual report.
Perfect. So as in your new business, you'll see that this is our 2024-2025 IP annual report. So again, this report's on last year's. And when we look at our integrated, our IP report, integrated programs, that's SIA, High School Success Act, those two in there. And so what we have to do every year is we answer these questions, and so just kind of review it and leave it open for public comment. So what I will do is just go through question number 1, as you can see, is as you review your progress markers / overall reflection responses and reflect on the plan implementation, how do you see your project or your progress contributing to the outcomes and strategies in your plan and your longitudinal performance growth programs? I apologize, I read this like 20 times a day. It's called the LPGT, your local metrics. And so what I've also done is, and this isn't part of what we're required to do, but I also put our LGPTs on the back side of that so you can see the progress. And so if you look at it, you have your 5-year average, you see your trends at where we're at on these things. 4-year cohort graduation, 5-year cohort graduation, 9th grade on track, 3rd grade ELA proficiency, and a regular attenders. And those are those LGPT things that we have to track. And probably more than likely, these will be part of our new accountability bill trackers, and so just to kind of heads up, but as you can see, we've actually met all of our markers on those things. So 4 years ago, we really sat down and said, where are we at? What does our growth need to be? And as you can, I mean, so we look at our 23-24 difference, everything is green, meaning that we have met all of our markers. And that's growth, continual growth from where we started. So that's what really question number 1 says. Based on our LPGTs, we're currently on track to meet all of our identified goals by the end of our 27-28 school year. One notable area of progress has been attendance, which we've been just tackling and kicking butt with. Improvement directly contributes to several of our outcomes and strategies, particularly those focused on student engagement and consistent access to high-quality instruction. Improved attendance strengthens our ability to deliver academic achievement goals, support our intervention for focal student groups, and creates a stronger foundation for long-term success. In addition, this progress aligns with our local optional metrics, or LOMs, reinforcing the connection between daily student presence and overall student outcomes. Question number 2, where have you experienced barriers and challenges in implementing our SIA or our IP? And one of the main things that one of our challenges is getting in our MTSS, or our multi-tiered systems of support, which part of it, that's why we have Matt coming in to help guide us in the continuing that. Really, we got tier 1, tier 2 we've been kind of stalled out for 2 years, and so that's going to be something. Once we get that in, we're going to be able to identify and help those students in our tier 2 and tier 3. Last one, question number 3, review actual metric rates compared to the LPGT and LOM and share reflections on progress. And essentially, it's kind of that same thing as you can see. We've met all of those goals. We actually, some of them have met our 27, 28 goals already. And we're just continually seeing that growth go up and up and up. On the back side of that, you'll also see where we, some of those expenditures for the SIA, if you guys were kind of wondering what are some things that we do with that monies. But anyway, that is, as eloquent as that sounded me reading all of those things, that is our annual report from you from the year 24-25. Any questions?
Ryan, you mentioned the accountability thing just briefly.
Yes. The governor's accountability bill
Is
that
there
came up.
anything else you have to?
We don't have further guidance on it at this point. I mean, obviously, they're still saying we're in progress, and I would imagine before we get to January, we're going to hear more about it. Everything that we've seen from July and August there hasn't been much of a change, so I think we're pretty dang close to what we're going to look at, but nothing official has come out.
So these expenditures were for last year?
Yes, this is all 24-25.
Any other questions for Ryan on that? Okay, moving on from that, board report, work session meeting.
Hold on one second.
I'm sorry, this requires you to request if anyone has public comment or questions. We just want to make sure we highlight that as it's a requirement of the grant.
Thank you. Is there any public comment on Ryan's report or questions to Ryan on his report? Hearing none, then.
Perfect.
Thank you. That's great. Then we will move on to the board report, which is work session meeting October 6th at 6 p.m. It will probably be a very interesting work session. We've been given our homework already.
Yes.